Alright, let's smash Sunday's daily puzzle on chess.com. This one's called Diagonal Domination. It's white to move. Give the video a pause and try it yourself if you feel like it. Cool, so we got a hanging rook. But if I lose this bishop, it's at best a draw. So I'm assuming I'm going to be able to find some weird checkmate here. I gotta save this bishop. It's going to be a weird checkmate for sure. What do I do? In what world am I checkmating this king? This is the type of stuff that I just don't understand. This is like a nice lesson. I'm going to learn something from this puzzle, but I don't think there's a way that I figure this out. Like, where is the check that I could give? Like, I see this as a check, and then how do I prevent the king from getting to here? Okay, I guess if you gave me like this move and then this move, that's checkmate, right? But obviously I don't have time for those moves. And I can't oh man, alright. Well, I have to use my king, so I can't let the king get over here at all. Or I think I'm toast. So I feel like the first move has to be with this bishop. But where do I go? I have to hold this square and probably this square as well. So I feel like it has to be in this direction. I feel like it's one of those three squares. But even if the king just starts escaping, like, what am I doing? I guess if I can hold on to both these bishops, is two bishops a theoretical draw? I think two knights is a theoretical draw. If I have two bishops, if I have two knights and black has nothing, then that's a draw, I think. If I have two bishops, I might just be able to make something happen like right now because of where the king is. There's got to be a checkmate here, right? It's not going to be take the rook. Diagonal domination. All right, so like, what reason do I have for going to one of these squares? I guess I think is the key. It doesn't have to be by any means. I have to do like there's something the rook wants to do that I have to understand probably. I don't know what that's going to be. Like, if the rook gets to here, then my bishop can't get to here, which feels like an important check. So what do I threaten? I don't get it. I don't just like, this just feels like the type of one that there's no way I'm going to get. These endgame things is just like so abstract unless you just know the theme. Here. If that's not the idea, I don't know where to go with this. There's no way I'm just taking this. And like, what is the reason for going to one of these three squares? It just feels like the king can just go in this direction, doesn't it? Well, okay, so then I take the rook. So the rook has to move out of the way. Okay. I've run through that thought process several times now, and I just keep forgetting that I did that. So I'm going to stay on this diagonal, I would think, to try to trap the king. I'm going to assume that black wants to save the rook. So if I move to one of these three squares, I think the rook goes here to prevent checkmate. That's what I'm thinking right now. What is the follow-up from there? Fork the rook and the pawn and still threaten checkmate? Maybe? Then that looks pretty good. But still, like, why? Okay, so at some point I have to find the reason why my bishop would want to move to one of these three squares specifically, because obviously there's a singular answer to this puzzle. So what do I do? Like, what is the... like, obviously, so black's just not going to go here. The king is frozen, though. I need both of these bishops. What is the reason... I feel like it's not going to be one of those moves because I just don't see a single reason why it would matter. So black does have checks. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe I go here because it blocks any possible checks, and then black doesn't have any checks. That's the only thought that is remotely coming into my mind. So I'm going to make that move because I don't know what else to do. Wow. And now I fork? Am I right about this? So black still doesn't have any checks, and I'm threatening checkmate. So the black came over here to protect against this checkmate. And now I go here, forking the rook in the pawn. And black can't protect the pawn on either of these squares, or I'm taking the rook. And I'm going to be threatening the rook. It's this move, right? And now this is mate. Did I just get this right? Okay. Wait, no, because the rook can block the check. But I still take the pawn, right? I must take the pawn. Is there a way to mate this guy? If I go here, king here... No, that would be an absolutely horrible move. That's not at all what would happen. The rook would take my bishop. But now I take the pawn, right? And the rook blocks. Why would I not take the pawn? I take the pawn with check. Rook blocks. And I don't want the draw, I'm assuming. Do I have any other checks? I mean, I could go... No, I can't do that because the rook's covering. Yeah, I don't have anywhere good to go. So I might as well take the pawn with check. I think... Unless I go here? No, that's not threatening mate. I take the pawn. Okay, so rook blocks, and now what am I doing? So the rook is taking away the king's only square on this diagonal now. So... Can I utilize the pin somehow? No. My king's trapped. Can't do anything. I can't really scare away the king. I mean, I definitely don't take this. That's a draw. So what do I do? Do I maintain the pin and just like bring it closer? How do I threaten mate here? If I go here, I'm threatening mate on this square, but black has time to do whatever black wants to do. I feel like it's this. I also kind of want to maintain the pin. Wait, is that stalemate actually? I can't maintain the pin because black can't move the king, and if I pin the rook can't move either. So I actually have to unpin this rook, because that would be a stalemate. So these two moves are not possible. It has to be one of these. And it feels like I want to do this. Maybe this. No, I can't go here because the rook is protecting. I keep forgetting about that. It's this move. I don't know why it is, but it is this move. I'm wrong. Okay. I ran out of ideas, you know? I was psyched that I got that far, but I completely ran out of ideas. What do they want me to do? Move the king. Oh my God. It's a Zugzwang. I don't know if I was going to get there, but I should have realized that the rook is pinned, so the rook can't move. So if I give the king room to move, which square is it? Why does it matter which one of these? Oh, I can't move to that one. That's wild. So now I move here, and the king just has to move here. Or here. It doesn't matter, but I'm taking the rook. That's crazy. Oh, man. I might have arrived there if I thought about this for another 15 minutes. That's cool, though. Okay, let's run that back. That was wild. And I almost got there. I'm kind of proud of myself, dude. Proud of myself, dude. Okay, so... I know that I don't want black taking my bishop, you know? So what I do is I go here, right? Why did I go there? Oh, because I wanted to block black's ability to check my king. Yeah. So I move my bishop here to continue keeping this king in a box while simultaneously disallowing black from checking my king. So... It also threatens checkmate because if my bishop gets to here without black doing anything to prevent that, then I'm checkmating the king. So what black does is moves their rook away from my attacking bishop and protects against this mating square, right? Because you can't give a check now because I just blocked it with the bishop. Cool. So now I fork the pawn and the rook and again threaten mate on this square because the king is trapped by my king and the bishop. So if I can take away this final square and check the king, I'm going to get a checkmate. So what I do is fork the rook and the pawn. Nice. And now I take the pawn with check, and black is going to have to block with the rook. But I don't want to take the rook, because if I take the rook, we trade, and then it's just a draw because you can't win with just a bishop. So instead of taking, I'm going to move my king back because black cannot move the rook at all right now because it's pinned to the king, and black can't move the king at all right now because it's stuck. But if I move my king out of the way, then I give black exactly 1 or 2 squares to move their king to, but both of those squares unprotect the rook. I take the rook, and I don't know how to win a game with 2 bishops, but somebody does, you know? And that's the puzzle. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.